we have our mystery lady try to guess who she is.
I was born in the mid-16th century and became queen of my native country at less than 1 week old. The King of England thought to secure my young hand for marriage, yet he failed. Yet I still managed to wed a total of 3 times in my life. To my first marriage, I wore a white wedding gown, which some think brought me bad luck. Before it was customary in my native country to wear white to funerals. Which was so happened to be France, the place which I was raised and went. I was queen of it, France, for a little less than 1 year of my life. But then the white gown had worked its terrible magic, and I returned to my homeland, orphaned, widowed, and still only in my teens. My second marriage was to one of my cousins, which may not have been the best idea because he was, well, how can I put this bluntly? I self-indulgent drunk. Basically, the only good thing he did for me was to father my son. For example, he killed my secretary right outside my doorstep, but later on he got his due. He himself was murdered. He was recovering from a bout of syphilis, but his house was blown up. He was found in a garden about 40 feet away, dead, not the blast, but heavily strangled. Some say I was involved in the conspiracy, but I state for the record I was not. But my third marriage to some proves that it was. It was to a man suspected of having a part in his murder. Now, anyone have a guess who I am? No?
Marie Antoinette?
No, you need to study your history better.
Mary Tudor?
No, dear. No. Okay, now if you haven't guessed, which I'm not sure you have, yes, dear? No. No more guessing. Yes? Yes. What? No, dear, no. Okay, now if you haven't guessed, which I'm almost sure you haven't yet, my first husband was Francis II of France. My third was Henry Darling. And my third was the Bothwell. And Bothwell, he wasn't much better than Darling. He had to marry me, he had kidnapped me. And then he abandoned me after a group of Scottish nobles had decided he was amassing too much power and captured us. He fled away in the night, but I was left there alone. I myself managed to flee across the border to England to ask my cousin Elizabeth for help, but she was suspicious of my intentions, and for the last 20 years of my life I was locked up in various castles across England, while my son James was being raised across the border as Protestant. How dare they raise him as Protestant with me being a Catholic and him a Protestant? I'm head up. But my misery was put to an end. I was killed by the axe on February the 8th in Livington Castle. I was only 44 years old. My greatest contribution yet still was my son, James I of England, who ascended to the throne, which I should have rightfully had if it hadn't been for Elizabeth. He ascended to the throne, uniting both the thrones of England and Scotland. He is my greatest legacy. And if anyone had a guess who I am, yet. Yes?
Mary Queen of Scots?
Yes. Yes, I am. I am Mary Queen of Scots.